And I guess I've been dreaming, 'cause now that I'm woke, everything that I see ain't what it seems, man. I guess I've been dreaming, 'cause now that I'm here, what I feel motivates me with reason. I guess I've been dreaming, 'cause now that I'm woke, everything that I see ain't what it seems, man. I guess I've been dreaming, 'cause now that I'm here, what I feel motivates me with reason. I guess I've been dreaming.
Oh. Peace and love to the guys and goddesses and the high vibrating species on the planet, man. What it is, what it do. How we living out there, man? What's bustin'? How the world treating y'all? How the world treating y'all? Everybody cooling? We cooling? Welcome to class, Academates. Welcome to class. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know what I'm talking about. We are still running the SCP series. And we got, I heard that name, the Daevites. So we gonna check that out. Y'all, we're gonna check out the Daevites, you know what I'm saying? So we gonna keep that story going, since we started with the Church of the Broken God, and then we got to the Sarks, and they said something about these people having to run in with these people here. So we're gonna see who they are, and then staff they got one more. They said you know what I'm saying, because we heard another name got shouted out too. So we're gonna check that out too. So that'll be coming at some point as well. But for the most part right now, we have the Daevites. I think I'm saying that right. Daevites. Well, we're gonna find out. You know what I'm saying? So welcome if you're new to the Exploring SCP series, which this is the page that we're on. They're the Exploring series, but we're doing the SCP series here on this channel. So welcome to the SCP series of this channel. And we don't let them bust down who they are. So Academates, I hope you got what you need, because I do. And without further ado, we're going to get to what it is that we do. You know what I mean? Bustin'.
The Daevites.
The Daevites.
The study of ancient cultures, civilizations, and events is of course one largely focused on the past, with occasional new discoveries in the present providing new details, but the past is largely set in stone. The history of the Daevites, however, within the SCP universe, is one that has a very curious connection to time, existing in the past, of course, but ever creeping into the present. It wouldn't be an SCP topic without some sort of anomalous context, and so this video will discuss the Daevites, their strange, expanding history, and some of the other SCPs related to them.
I'm quite the historian.
Unlike some other groups or factions in the SCP universe, the Daevites are based primarily around a single SCP, SCP-140. SCP-140 is a book titled A Chronicle of the Devas, copyrighted sometime in the 1900s, and written by an unknown author.
A book?
Oddly, there are far more pages contained in the book than could actually be held by the binding, but that's just the beginning of its anomalous properties.
Okay.
Those who read the book feel paranoia, unease, and nausea, potentially due to the unsettling material held within.
What language?
Although some do claim to smell the odor of dried blood coming from the book.
Well, damn.
Regardless, readers feel compelled to continue reading the book, calling the text fascinating. Additionally, if SCP-140 comes into contact with any fluid, more text will be added to the book. And so, due to the fascinating compulsion that readers have, they will attempt to bring any fluid they can to the book to add to it, including their own blood. The book itself is of course a chronicle of the Daevite civilization, which existed thousands of years ago, originating in what is now south-central Siberia. At times, the Daevites operated as a collection of city-states, and their civilization of course evolved and changed over time, but primarily they functioned underneath a theocratic aristocracy. The majority of the Daevites served under a ruling class known as the Devas, who routinely practiced cannibalism and magic rituals. Evidence suggests that the Devas unnaturally extended their lives, possibly because of these rituals, and that in fact they were different enough from modern humans to be considered a separate species. The civilization as a whole believed in human sacrifice and blood rituals, and they were largely a militaristic society, conquering their enemies and building large urban centers on the backs of slave labor. It is believed that the Daevites were a matriarchal society, in which women generally possessed higher status than men. The book goes into great graphic detail about the different blood rituals, sacrifices, battles, conquests, and even the daily life of the Daevites. Archaeologists working for the SCP Foundation have discovered ruins and different artifacts from the Daevite civilization in locations such as Siberia, northern Iran, Mongolia, and China, signifying that this culture did actually exist. The Daevites apparently created a number of anomalous artifacts and creatures, some of which have been found and contained by the Foundation, and the rest seemingly lost in time. An early reading of the book showed the Daevite civilization being utterly crushed by the Chinese, killing off practically all of the Devas and ending their reign. In most history books, that would be pretty much the end of the Daevite story, but this is where the true anomalous properties kick in. As mentioned, fluids that come into contact with the book add to its contents, but not just adding details to existing material. It also changes and adds to their history. Their defeat at the hands of the Chinese was changed to a mere setback, along with other defeats, and new individuals and events are continually added. By itself, this would be merely interesting, but the fact that Foundation archaeologists discovered new artifacts and materials that match this new history means the world's timeline is actually being rewritten along with it. Right now, the Daevite timeline ends hundreds of years ago, and modern history seems to be unaffected by these timeline changes. But if SCP-140 keeps getting added to, it could result in a complete restructuring of the modern world. Fortunately, SCP-140 is locked up tight by the Foundation, but unfortunately, a number of identical copies are out in the world, each capable of adding to the Daevite history.
Wow.
So far, the Foundation have found and destroyed dozens of copies.
Dang.
But at this point, 2 expansion events have occurred while SCP-140 was contained in its vault. SCP-140 represents a massive danger to the current structure of the modern world, and recovery of the other copies is a top priority. The Daevites are mentioned in a number of other SCPs contained by the Foundation, and that number is only likely to grow as time goes on. But I'll take the time to just discuss a certain few.
Oh, yeah.
There are several SCPs that refer to the Devas' rituals, specifically in connection with botany. SCP-392 is a plant species created by the Daevites in 800 BCE, resembling a peach tree, but instead of growing fruit, it grows human heads. These heads are all physically identical, believed to be the head of a male sex slave who served a Deva, but the heads lack eyelids and contain an SCP-392 seed in their skull cavity. These heads respond to certain physical stimuli, such as their eyes following a moving hand, and seem to respond more actively to females than males. When removed from the tree, either manually or when they fall off, the heads cease activity and begin to decompose, with the decomposing head serving as fertilizer for the seed, if possible. SCP-3140 are massive tree-like entities, believed to have been used for warfare by the Daevites around 11,000 BCE, although the leading theory is that they were originally created by SCP-1000, sometime prior to that, and simply modified by the Daevites. SCP-3140 stands about 12 meters tall, although it's possible ancient members of the species stood much taller, and seem to be formed from a mixture of the Tibetan cypress and the Japanese cherry, with wooden legs possessing full articulation. SCP-3140 is covered in a large number of glyphs, tattoos, and Daevite iconography, and also possess 3 large barrels attached to it, although it's believed that these barrels were a later modification, as they are not present on newly born members of the species. Anyone that places their left hand in a specific recess on SCP-3140 and speaks a command in Daevic can order the entity to follow certain directions. These commands include moving, stomping, stabbing with extendable bone spikes, and presumably firing some incendiary substance from the barrels, although the entity contained by the Foundation only billows smoke when given the fire command. SCP-3399 is a species of trees activated by the blood of an individual that will grow leaves that display images resembling memories carried by the individual.
Right.
Seeds grown from these trees will begin to show images on their leaves of potential future events, usually partners whom the individual could conceive a child with. Future trees grown from the seeds will continue to show future events related to the potential offspring, and the trees grown will also reflect any genetic disorders carried by the individual that would be passed on to offspring. It's believed these trees were utilized by Daevite royalty to help craft the best bloodlines.
That's a literal computer. Yeah,
there are also references that connect both the early
yeah.
ancestors of the Church of the Broken God and the Sarkic cults to the Daevite civilization. It's believed that Sarkicism originated from Daevite slaves that overthrew their rule, eventually going to war with the Daevites.
Look at them sigils.
The Sarkic cults originally crushed the Daevite civilization,
I don't
but
see
thanks to
any that resemble the
SCP-140,
72.
the Daevites bounced back once again. The Mechanites, likely one of a large number of smaller cults amidst the Daevites, broke away from the Daevites and were at best temporary allies against the Sarkists,
That's Zeus,
and
man.
most likely indifferent towards the Daevites. The Daevites seem to have clashed with a number of kingdoms and religious organizations, and as time keeps getting rewritten, so does the number of their conflicts grow. The Daevite civilization is one intertwined with blood rituals, human sacrifices, slavery, and the anomalous, but those concepts would be considered mostly standard fare for an ancient civilization in the SCP universe. SCP-140 is really the most perplexing element in their history, as it's believed by some that the Daevite civilization didn't even exist in our timeline until that book's publication. One of the most commonly accepted theories is that the Daevite kingdom existed in an alternate dimension, and some process resulted in them intermingling into ours. Whether the process responsible for this is one of the Daevites' rituals,
it's called
or some other
Kundalini
third
Rising.
party is up in the air. But the damage is already done, and will likely only continue to grow worse. Additionally, it's also debatable if the Mechanites and Sarkics would have existed without the presence of the Daevites, or if SCP-140 is also responsible for their creation as well. It's generally accepted that the past stays in the past, but when it comes to the Daevites, the past keeps creeping up.
Shit. Alright. Hold on, what this? Okay. SCP-140 was originally found in the office of deceased historian. We don't know. The previous owner was discovered in his office at the university, having expired from self-inflicted lacerations to both wrists. Okay. Such and such colleagues claimed during interviews they discovered a note in a faded ink handwriting next to SCP-140. Note read: I have to know. I'm sorry. Well, damn. Well, just leave us in suspense then, bro. Happy transcendence to you, but damn. Alright, Academates, man. and you know what? Like I said, man, when you get the dibs, and I hope y'all get it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really got to use your CT to get it. You got to use your CT to get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you get it, you get it. The dib. You know what I'm saying? Call. Make sure you call dibs. You know what I'm saying? I got dibs. You know what I'm saying? Do you got dib? Got dib? You feel me? Your discernment. You know what I'm saying? Intuition. And your due diligence. You feel me? Get your dibs, man. For real. Because that due diligence is going to do you wonders. The due diligence aspect is going to do you wonders when you really start digging in. This stuff is so intriguing. You know what I'm saying? It's so intriguing. So salute to those that put me over here on the Exploring series. Yeah, because yeah. It's going right along. It's going right along with my studies, guys. So yeah. It's this is definitely interesting. Because I know, like I said, I study about history and a lot of things, so I know, you know what I'm saying, I've in metaphysics and all of that good stuff. So yeah. So these is getting deep. Like I don't know, you know what I'm saying, what it's doing for y'all, but it's really getting deep for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually enjoying it for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really enjoying it. This information is like, it's mind-boggling. These things are really freaking dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Some of them look funny, look cool, look hideous. This stuff is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we gonna keep running them up. Academates. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all joining me. As always, I really do appreciate y'all joining me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know which ones y'all, you know what I'm saying, y'all like the most, or you're most intrigued in, or you don't understand, you know what I'm saying. We'll probably pull it up, and you know what I'm saying, we'll probably break it down to see if we can understand it together, you know what I mean? Cause I'm like, yo, like, these things have been around for a while. It's been around for a while. And this thing, another on another note, man, it kind of put me in the mind of Death Note. If y'all familiar with that, if anybody familiar with that, comment below. You know what I'm saying? If you know about Death Note, you know what I'm saying. Not saying that I mean, cause if you've seen it, of course, then that's, you know what I'm saying, you know how that go. But it just, you know what I'm saying, the book, and you feel me, it seems like it's not gonna run out of pages, and you know what I'm saying, it's changing events or causing events, rather, you know what I'm saying. So, you know, they could kind of pull from this aspect and create something totally different. You know what I mean? So I'm just kind of like, dang, man, it's a book that's got blood in it. Old, you know what I'm saying, old blood in it. And people's, you know what I'm saying, supposedly using their own, allegedly using their own, you know what I'm saying, if they can't find any other liquid so the story can carry on. But then you see actual dimension alterations that's taking place, that just, I mean, but it just seems like it's adding them to the history, which I guess would bring them into such timeline, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Into that dimension. I mean, because I don't really believe in time, so it's this dimension, rather. Because I know at this point with the planet shifting and going back to her natural state, it's the frequencies changing, the vibrations changing, it's lifting. So it's been a merger. There's being a merger, and has been for a while now, a merger of dimensions. So I'm starting to really feel like that's where some of this stuff is actually coming from. It's merging into other dimensions, coming from other places, because when the universe is as vast as it is, there's almost infinite possibilities that there's anything that you can fathom, anything that anybody could ever fathom it's somewhere out there, because if you can think it, then that means it's somewhere out there. And I mean that goes down to the lines of manifestation and law of attraction and stuff like that. If you can perceive it, then you can receive it, type of deal. You feel me? Y'all feel me? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just, like I said, I like to think a lot. You know what I'm saying? I like to think about stuff like this. I like to really, you know what I'm saying, work my mind and some exercise. You know what I'm saying? Mental exercise. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with some mental exercise these days. So y'all be sure, you know what I'm saying, to keep your head on the swivel. You feel me? Don't forget to spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally protect yourselves at all times. At all times. You know what I mean? We're gonna keep running them up. Like I said, staff got some more. They when it came down to this right there, it's like, listen, they feel it. So we gonna be bouncing. Like I said, we're gonna be bouncing. It seems like we're gonna be bouncing around. You know what I'm saying? So as more requests come in, if more requests come in, you know what I'm saying, we'll spool them in. You feel me? As they come, and we'll keep running them up. You feel me? Because I'm interested in what y'all got to think. You know what I'm saying? What y'all think about it. What y'all got to say about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you believe in these things? Like, is there a possibility that these things are actually real? You know what I'm saying? Do you think that? Do you feel that way? Do you believe that? What do you perceive? You know what I'm saying? What connections have you drawn? Like, have you been able to connect any of these SCPs with anything in this timeline that since you've been on the timeline? You know what I'm saying? Like, so have you drawn any conclusions to chalk something up as to, no, I don't think so, or whatever. Like the sculpture, that thing is crazy. The sculpture, that thing is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, and that put me in the mind of a golem. It's like almost like a golem. So it's like magic. You know what I'm saying? And y'all have to realize, this is a magical world. You know what I'm saying? It is. So that's why I encourage and I implore everybody to do some research, do your due diligence. You know what I'm saying? Like, open your mind up, expand it, get into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you into, get more into it. I could say that. You know what I'm saying? Everything ain't just, it's not worth surface value. Sometimes it is worth going deeper, just to really see, and you know what I'm saying, what you're gonna really get out of whatever you're into, because it may be a waste, but it only comes through you know what I'm saying, the proper study and due diligence. You know what I'm saying, and using your discernment and your intuition both to feel and know what's what, and to be able to decipher these differences, because there's a lot of misdirection. There's a lot of mess out there that'll just get you distracted or confused. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's done like that on purpose. So regardless of how you look at that aspect of done on purpose, the purpose is to, I would say, to better yourself. Because if you keep getting you know what I'm saying, slapped with the okie doke, then you really can't be mad at nobody but yourself, because you keep falling for the okie doke, not the next man or the next woman, you know what I'm saying, or next god or goddess. So we have to do this together. So if anything on this channel I condone, you know what I'm saying, I condone in doing, you know what I'm saying, some due diligence, and you know what I mean, and practice on that. You feel me? Working on your mental, rebuilding your mind, and keeping your critical thinking hot wired on a regular basis, because I promise you I do. As much as I can, you know what I'm saying. And don't get me wrong, there's things that get me, I get caught slipping at times too, but not for the most of media, because I don't really, you know, I've seen too much, and this is just adding on to the plate, because I be feeling things that's more out there. I mean, think about the ocean, guys. I mean, I'm not just kind of like, You feel me? Like, think about the ocean. How much of it? Actually, you got to ask yourself, how much of the ocean have we actually explored? What's the percentage? And then you have to ask yourself, how much of land have we actually explored? Because there are terrains that not even a drone could get in. See what I'm saying? Like, not even a drone's going to get through that vegetation. You see what I'm saying? So, there's no telling. There's no telling what's out there. You feel me? There's no telling what's out there on this planet. So, I'm going to leave y'all with that. You know what I mean? Y'all let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section, man. We can talk about it. You know what I'm talking about? We can talk about all this. You feel me? Just, you know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know what y'all thinking, what y'all feel, how y'all feel, you know what I'm saying? What you perceive, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody's perception ain't the same. So, that's what we're here for. We can all get on the same page, and we can flow smoothly. So, peace and love.